sunshine, sometimes it has to rain. Just like we enjoy the pleasure, we have to stand the pain. Tomorrow we'll feel better 'cause it's a brand new day.
An unintended consequence of being on YouTube and posting videos of bad bathroom and shower jobs for the last 8 years is it begets the next one. Some people ask me where I find all these jobs that I go on where the tile is done so horribly wrong. And I don't find them, they find me. So this guy found me the same way. I don't know, he Googled, went on YouTube, however he managed to find me, and he saw some of my videos of some bad bathroom jobs, tiling jobs, etc. Look at that lippage. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's hard to believe that that's okay. Let me set this tile and know that it's pushed down, but it's okay. And weird cuts. Grout's coming out of this tile too. I'm not here for the floor. Right away when I look at things, there's such a preponderance of mistakes that I start focusing on things that I shouldn't be focusing on. But look at that. There's lippage on all this. This is marble. Lippage over here, lippage over here, lippage over here. When you do a large format tile, not so much with marble, but with porcelain, it should be staggered in thirds so you don't have lippage. You're still going to get some. It's almost impossible not to have lippage with a large format tile when you don't stagger it in thirds. I have a lot of customers who insist that they want it in halves, and I do the best I can. And there is some minor lippage, like here, that I end up having, but it's not to the point of this. This is just ridiculous. Some of the things on here that back in the day, look at this cut. Back in the day, when I first started doing tile, I used to do this on floors. They didn't have Schluter strips back then, so I would just taper some grout on the top of here. I don't even think that's grout, I think that's mortar. But, or even thin set maybe, but I wouldn't do that now. I mean, this is going back, 18, 19, 20 years ago I did something like that. And I definitely wouldn't do it on top of here. I would just have nothing there instead of having that taper of grout going on, because it doesn't look good. Anyway, getting on to the shower. Don't mean to go on and on, but I get perplexed by how it is people do things they do. This guy was not a tile guy by any stretch of the imagination. A lot of times people say that, the homeowner did this and they just said it was a contractor because they're embarrassed about it. No, this was a contractor, believe it or not. This was, he does other things. Apparently he's a really good painter, and he's a handyman, but he's definitely not a tiler. Sometimes I go on and on about all the mistakes, and in cases like this, I don't even have to talk. I mean, there's no symmetry. Look here. This tile is a shorter piece than that tile. Sorry, that's a longer piece than that tile. I think these two match, and then this one's a cut piece, and then that's a long tile. Here's the thing. With this elongated 24-inch tile, there's absolutely no reason for that. 24-inch tile, this is 4 foot. I think just shy of 4 foot. It could have been 2 pieces with one grout line in the middle. Even if he didn't do an angle cut, going across here, if he just butted up tile against tile, then he's still good on 2 pieces going across here, and and then there'd be 3 pieces coming across here. This is 5 foot, so 3 pieces would fit in there well. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, this is just horrible. It's the wrong grout. God, there's so many things. I could go crazy in here just looking at all the mistakes. It's the wrong grout. This is caulking right now that I'm looking at. But right below it is the original unsanded grout. And unsanded grout on a shower floor with 1/8" grout lines is not a good idea. I don't think, my personal opinion, unsanded grout on shower floor period should be illegal. But you got 1/8" grout lines, and that begets sanded grout, not unsanded. And we got dips. I can't do this with the camera. I'm trying to show you that this goes up, it's a hump, and then it drops down, and there's a drop down here too. Water pools over here for sure. And then it goes really high here and then low here. And it's pervasive all over the place. This is a low point also. There's a lot of little tiny pooling areas, and there's a hump here that you can't see. And that goes really high, and look at that. And I don't think this was the tile guy that did this. I think this is a homeowner trying to mitigate his leak because this shower is leaking, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute. I can feel, and you can see the edge of the tile. This guy looked like he used nippers instead of a wet saw, because I can feel definitively that this is the edge of the tile. So the tile wasn't done first, and then this overlapped it. It was vice versa, and that's wrong. So well, you can clearly see the end of the tile here. So you don't have a grout line that's horizontal like this. You know, you want your grout line up there. Yeah, lippage on the wall tile. Yeah, I'm going to get up to the wall eventually. So there's a lot of issues going on. This curb is not even sloped properly. This curb is 2 2x4s up. That's why this tile is so thin over here. I don't know why it's so thick here and then it thins out, because there's a dip, but it's not sloped. So I know water pools up around this area. In fact, that's the reason you have all this caulking that's gotten brown and black and everything, because water is just pooling up around there. That's why you put a slope on your curb, so water comes off of it. Some of this stuff is really obvious. I don't mean to demean your intelligence, but holy moly. Just some of these mistakes. Look at that bench. This is a Schluter bench, I believe. It's an aluminum bench that gets put in to the wall, gets anchored to the wall with studs. So when you build a shower, you make sure that there are some studs, some type of support, so that when you put your screws in, you have proper support. I'm going to show you the other end of that here shortly, and you're going to see those mistakes. Look at this. One little scabbed in piece, but then one long piece. Why? This isn't 24 inches going across up to that crack right there. You got 24-inch tile, so why not have just, this is 18 inches or whatever, put a solid piece there. He had an option to do this solid piece of marble, triangular, and fell shy about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch all the way around. Why? What's the what are people thinking when they do stuff like this? Look at the niche. I mean, this speaks for itself. I don't have to say anything. He put a slope on here. There's a definitive slope. I can see it and feel it that goes downward, and that's the only thing good about this niche. Otherwise, it's just plain cock-a-doodle. There's nothing good about this thing. My take on it is that behind this cock-a-doodle here is a 2x4. So he just put marble on top and bottom, and for whatever reason, rather than hide the edge, I don't know what he's thinking. Look at this cut, a horrible cut. 3/4 inch grout line here, taper down to 1/2 inch, taper down to 1/8 inch, and just there's no rhyme or reason to any of this stuff. Profound lippage with grout popping out. So yes, a lot of mistakes. I showed most of the major ones. There are some minor ones that I probably missed already, but I don't want to bore you to death. There's just so much wrong with this shower that I can't even look at that gap. Holy moly! Look at that gap. I can almost get my pinky finger under there. I don't know what to say. These jobs that I continue to post, I post for the consumption of the person who's going to have a shower built, whether they do it themselves or whether they contract to have it done, as these people did, to know what you're supposed to know that any one of these mistakes, and I've said this time and time again on numerous videos that I had, this job would take me to do all of this flooring and to do all this tub and this build a whole shower would probably take me a solid 2 weeks. This is about a 12 to maybe even a 14-day job, working days, for me to do it. This guy probably spent more time than that. It behooves the customer, you see, to not interfere with the worker, but at least at the end of the day, kind of, let me see, wow, this shower pan really is wavy, that's not right, stop. Wow, that bench really looks bad, stop. I mean, before all the silicone and all that stuff was put on there, it still looked bad. This niche looks horrible, stop. You know, at some point you just have to stop and say, no, look at the cuts, those cuts aren't right, you know, just stop the job. You know, what's the point of going all the way through to 99 to 100% done and it's non-functional? When I say non-functional, the big surprise about this isn't that the job was horribly tiled, because I have a lot of those. The big surprise to me was there's no liner. So these guys have had a leak in their shower for a while, and I'm asking him to take me downstairs and show me the leak, and he's like, no, we don't have to go downstairs, I know where it's at. Right behind here, this wall, there's a closet, and the leak is emanating from over there. And the reason why, and I haven't had one of these videos in, how long has it been? 7 years? There's no pan liner. There is no pan liner in this entire shower, which means that the water is getting out the path of least resistance, which apparently is back behind that closet, or at least that's where they discovered it. And we're gonna go have a look-see at that. Alrighty, I am now back behind the shower, and you see all this water staining that's gone on the plywood. In fact, I'm gonna go out on a limb and probably say, well, this plywood is definitely rotted away, but I'm also gonna get my light right. I'm also gonna say that probably below this whole shower, the wood is even more profoundly rotted than this is. He used hardy backer, which is okay. I don't really care what backer board somebody uses, but I guarantee he didn't waterproof anything. And waterproofing isn't necessary, say on the walls particularly, especially with hardy backer, but it's definitely needed on the shower pan, and especially since he didn't use a liner. Here's your two 2x4s rising up above that the plate right there. So the bottom stud is your plate, then the two 2x4s above it is about the same distance as your two 2x4s on the curb. And you see the water has wicked up your hardy backer. Why? Do you see a pan liner there? When you come in back of a shower, you should see at least 3 or 4 inches of pan liner. And there's no pan liner here at all to be seen anywhere. So that already tells me everything I need to know. That hardy backer is flat to the wall, even in the corner, and that's impossible to do when you have a pan liner. But anyway, the point being is the leak is definitively because the pan is saturated with water. It has nowhere to go, so it's following the path of least resistance right around here. And yeah, so this is the bench. This is pretty funny. So the bench has a couple of screws that you go into a stud, as I mentioned earlier. There should be a cross beam or something so that you can put screws into that stud, both on this side and the other side. But he didn't use screws, right? Because there's nothing to screw into, so he ran a screw into the back of here. But guess what that is? That's a toggle bolt. And guess where the toggle portion is? It's not even there. Like it's stuck in, it's stuck inside of the hole. So the toggle isn't even working correctly because the toggle is not popped out here, which it should be. And there's only one instead of two. I don't know what's going on the other side because I can't get to it. But yeah, just little stuff like that. Little stuff like this. Look at the cut on the hardy backer. I don't mean to laugh, sorry. I can't see. Yes, I can. Look at that cut on the hardy backer. I don't do prefab niches. I think they're a solution to no problem. People get freaked out. My niche is going to leak if I don't get a plastic niche, and that's not true. I build niches all the time that don't leak, so I don't use these. You're relegated between studs. So this is a 16-inch niche, and therefore, yeah. So It's amazing to me. Yeah, I call them niche, not niche. If the French can't speak English, then I'm not going to speak French. It's a niche. I'm going to back out of here. That's really all I have to say. Just some final thoughts when I come on the other side. So now that you've seen a little peekaboo section in the back there and see how things were put together or lack thereof, you kind of understand the reason that I get so animated and so upset about these bad bathroom jobs, because they don't have to be this way. You know, if you do your due diligence and you get a referral from somebody, a tile shop or somewhere that has definitive experience in building a shower, a backsplash in a kitchen or a floor in a kitchen or whatever does not beget a shower contractor. A person who builds a shower needs to know plumbing and needs, I don't even know if the drain is functional, honestly. But they need to know all this stuff. They need to know how to mitigate water leaks. That has to do with the lack of the shower pan liner, has to do with probably the lack of the proper P-trap up under here. I don't know if it's right or not. Has to do with the type of tile, it has to do how the tile is set. It has to do with so many things that just a tile guy wouldn't recognize, wouldn't know about all this stuff. And he can't even do tile right. So not only is he not a good contractor to build a shower, he's not even a good tile guy. You know, get the references mean nothing. Don't get references. Find your shower contractor. Either Google him. If he doesn't have a presence on the internet, that's a problem. Because he should have a presence, good, bad, or indifferent. He should have a presence on the internet. Google his phone number, Google his name, his company, whatever. You'll find good, bad, or indifferent on the internet. Go to a tile store, tile shop. Floor and Decor is the one here in Atlanta, and I don't know that I'd go through them necessarily, but we have a lot of tile places. Inner Ceramic, we have Dow Tile, we have a lot of tile stores. Go to the back, go around back where guys pick up their tile and pick up parts and stuff like that. Go to the parts counter. Ask them for a referral on somebody that can build a shower. That's the best advice I can give. You know, somebody who just says, oh yeah, I can do this, and this is what you end up with, is to me a shame, because eventually this has to be done over. At least from, well, because the bench is in the way, at least from 1, 2, 3 tile up, everything has to be taken out and redone again, just because he missed the most important step on here, which is the pan liner. All the other things are kind of small potatoes, because again, a lot of this is aesthetics, but there's no waterproofing and there's no pan liner, and that's the Achilles heel, and that's why this failed. And then, you know, he can slap tile all around he wants, and that's just for looks. But still, I mean, I don't know. Just I have to video these things to let people know. A lot of people don't know I have a channel on YouTube. They might find this one video, and that's all they find. And when they find this and they're having something done that I've helped one person, matters to me, and that's why I do the videos. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, then subscribe. Hit that button and subscribe. I make nothing off of YouTube, so please be a Patreon member. I'm gonna post a link down below to my Patreon account, and you can donate $1, $5, $10, $20 a month. Just pledge that on a monthly basis. That will help me produce more videos and content so that you can watch and learn from my channel. And donate at least $50 if you're gonna call. If you're gonna call for advice, donate to my PayPal, please. Donate first, and then feel free to call me or email me for advice. Otherwise, business calls only, please.